African Union, better known as the AU, is a continental body made up of 55 member states from across Africa, founded in 2002 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. It replaced the Organization of African Unity, or AU, which had been in existence since 1963.
I am happy to be here in Addis Ababa. We shall lay here the foundations for the continental.
The AU aims to promote unity, peace, and development across Africa, as well as address political, economic, and social challenges. The key goals of the AU includes promoting peace and security, economic integration, human rights, and sustainable development. The Union has been at the forefront of combating terrorism, fighting pandemics, and addressing climate challenges.
They did a very wonderful job in degrading Al-Shabaab, in civic activities, in key leadership engagement activities.
It is composed of several institutions that include the Assembly, the decision-making body made up of heads of state and heads of government from member states, the Executive Council, composed of ministers of foreign affairs or other ministers or representatives designated by their member states. It supports the work of the Assembly. The African Union Commission, which is the secretariat of the AU, is responsible for implementing the programs of the Union. The Pan-African Parliament is an advisory body that provides a platform for the African people to participate in discussions. The Peace and Security Council is responsible for managing peace and security issues on the continent. Now, one of the African Union's most crucial decisions is the election of the chairperson of the African Union Commission. It's a high-stakes race that involves strategic alliances, intricate diplomacies, and sometimes behind-the-scenes bargaining. In this bulletin, we take a closer look at what drives individuals to pursue this prestigious role, what it means for Africa's future, and why we think the process of electing the chairperson of the African Union Commission is often so tricky. The African Union Commission Chairperson is no ordinary role. Elected by heads of state and government at the African Union Summit, this leader is tasked with driving the organization's agenda forward, overseeing the implementation of policies that affect more than 1.4 billion people across 55 countries. It sure is a prestigious position. Here are a few key motivations why individuals vie for this position. Influence in Pan-African affairs. The AU Commission Chairperson holds significant influence over the direction of the African Union, which is the main continental organization representing the interests of 55 African countries globally. The chairperson has a role of shaping policies that affect political, economic, and social issues across the continent, including peace and security, development, human rights, and trade. Leadership roles in African diplomacy and continental integration. As the head of the AU Commission, the chairperson plays a central role in African diplomacy. They engage with international partners, lead negotiations, and promote African interests globally. This visibility can enhance the individual's reputation and legacy as a key leader in the global stage.
To welcome Chairperson Faki here to the State Department, to Washington, for what is now our 9th high-level dialogue between the African Union and the United States.
The chairperson has the opportunity to spearhead initiatives that aim to overcome regional divisions, promote economic collaboration, and address cross-border issues like conflict, migration, and environmental challenges.
I'm very thankful to Prime Minister Boris Johnson for organizing this important meeting and for inviting the African Union Commission to participate. I also wish to thank Gavi for its continued work in Africa, where it spends 60% of its resources to ensure equitable and affordable access to vaccines.
Legacy and historical significance. Serving as the chair of the AU Commission can be career-defining, with the individual shaping their legacy as a visionary leader who contributed to the progress of the continent. For some, it is an opportunity to be remembered in history for advancing the African cause. Political influence and global networking. The position provides substantial political leverage within Africa and globally. The chairperson engages with heads of state, diplomats, business leaders, and civil society organizations, which enhances their network and influence. Desire for regional peace and stability. Many individuals who run for this position have a strong commitment to improve peace, security, and governance in Africa. They may view the position as a way to have a direct impact on conflict resolution, humanitarian efforts, and promoting democratic values across the continent. In short, the AU Commission Chairperson position is seen as an opportunity to influence the future of the continent and, of course, gain international prestige. But the road to this powerful position is anything but straightforward. The election of the Commission's chairpersons remains one of the closest watched and complicated contests in African diplomacy. The election process can be highly contentious. It's not always about who is the most qualified, but who can secure the most support from the member states. In the lead-up to the elections, jockeying for the position is intense. The process itself is a delicate balance between diplomacy, persuasion, and sometimes backroom deals. Candidates must garner votes from at least 33 heads of states out of the 55 represented in the Union. This notwithstanding, each AU member state has its own interest, and the continent is not short of rivalries, conflicting political agenda, political alliances, and historical ties that often influence its decisions. This also means balancing regional interest, ethnic consideration, and geopolitical factors. Based in Addis Ababa, the African Union Commission serves as the continent's secretariat. Its chairperson represents the AU internationally. As such, the stakes for the seats are incredibly high. What makes the election a challenge is often more complex than it appears. Most of the times, the elections are usually about much more than the individual candidates. It's about the balance of power within the AU itself. Countries from the same region often back their own, but there are times when the geopolitical chess comes into play. With this, alliances shift and strategic positioning becomes key. Throughout the campaign, candidates engage in intense negotiations, often holding bilateral talks with heads of states and key diplomats. The process can stretch over months before the actual election. Sometimes, last-minute negotiations are done and deals struck hours just before the vote. This political maneuvering can lead to surprise outcomes. On election day, the delegates vote by secret ballot. While there may be front-runners, the outcome is often uncertain and only evident the moment the ballots are counted. With the recent voting in of Mahamoud Ali Youssouf of the Republic of Djibouti as the chairperson of the African Union Commission for the 2025 to 2029 term, defeating his rivals, the Right Honorable and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga of Kenya and former Foreign Minister Richard James Randriamandrato of Madagascar in the 2025 vote, we can only wait with a bated breath to see what his win means for Africa's future.